What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Dynasty here over at the League FFB, where today we are going to be discussing some Dynasty fantasy football trades. So hopefully you guys are members of the Discord. If you're not members of the Discord, it is a free Discord that you can join. That is where we are pulling all of the trades from today. So we submit those in the Discord. Like I said, it's free to join. If you want to be in future trade shows, go join that Discord. But we've been delayed a little bit today. I'm not gonna lie, man. We've been pushed back, and there's somebody on the Let's Talk Dynasty team who's the reason for the delays. I'm not gonna say who it is, but it's one of us. But without further ado, let's bring in one of my guys, MFGDs, man. How you doing, man?
It's gonna be me. My bad, y'all. I got caught at the DMV. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know how it is. You ever been to the DMV? You can't control when you get in and when you get out. So I'm texting Drew the whole time, like, Drew, I'm coming. I'm on number G58. 30 minutes later, I'm still on G58. So, I mean, that's kind of been like what the situation has been. But I'm here now. I'm ready to look at some trades, damn it.
Yeah, I feel it, man. Let's start it off with one question. We do have one question in the chat. So B-Ball3710, glad to have you in here today, man. He says, Herbert for the 101 and Judy 12 team. Where are we leaning? And I wanted to ask this question, War, because you were shopping Herbert for a similar package. So what are you doing here, man?
Okay, so B-Ball, this is how I'm going to tell you. This is my approach to it. In the league I'm in, I have Herbert, and I'm not trading Herbert unless I get 1.1 and 1.2 plus. Now, it all depends on whether or not.
You said 1.1 and it's 1.1 or 1.2, right? Okay. Yeah, you said and.
But the key words is plus. Now, it all comes down to if you think Judy is worthy of being plus. If it was the league I'm in, Judy will not be considered plus to me. It will have to be Judy and then some.
Yeah. So I think for me, man, Herbert and the 101, I actually was helping a buddy out with a trade like this before. And I said I would sell the 101 for Herbert. I'm taking the Herbert side, I think, on this one. I'm the same with you. I don't love Judy. I think there's a potential chance, as much as I've poo-pooed on Judy in the past, I think there's a potential chance to buy a little bit low right now. But I still don't think that's enough plus to give up a guy like Justin Herbert, because we know Justin Herbert is elite. We know he's a guy who's going to give you top 5, top 6, top 7 dynasty fantasy football numbers. And it's not like you're trading an aging asset. This is an asset that's young as hell anyways. Like, the difference between Justin Herbert and Caleb Williams is like 3 or 4 years anyways. So it's not like you're really losing that much. Anyway, so it is what it is. Avatar says, dude is crazy, 101 and 102. He said 101 or 102.
Or. I also think that Herbert is due for some progression. Like, I seen that we just had a comment saying that Harbaugh is going to like run heavy. I mean, like, with all due respect to Harbaugh's game plan, I don't think he's ever coached a quarterback the caliber of Justin Herbert.
I said that before. I heard that argument before, and I said, you know what? He had J.J. McCarthy, who, you know, whatever you think of J.J. McCarthy, you say what you want, but we don't know what he is at this point. I'd say it's pretty far-fetched to think that J.J. McCarthy is Justin Herbert. And then even before that, it was Colin Kaepernick. So I think, say what you want to say about Colin Kaepernick as a professional football player. I don't think he's the greatest professional football player we could put as a starting quarterback.
One hit wonder.
Tim says he had Andrew Luck. So I guess, did he have Andrew Luck? When did he have Andrew Luck? At
Stanford. Yeah. He did.
Interesting. I don't know what their rushing numbers look like out there. Timothy, put me on if you know what their rushing numbers look like.
But Drew, look at it like this. Let's think about that. Andrew Luck, he had Andrew Luck at Stanford. Andrew Luck went 1-1, so he must have been doing something well.
Pretty damn
Stanford.
good.
That game plan didn't hold him back at Stanford, so
pretty damn good. But that's not what we're here for today. Now, we are here to talk some dynasty trades, so I'm glad that we opened it up with a question. But we have these trades submitted straight in the Discord. I do want to let you guys know we have the Super Bowl coming up next week. So our friends over at Underdog Fantasy, they're hooking you guys up. We're getting a new customer special. So if you sign up using code LeagueFFB over on Underdog Fantasy, you can bet or place a play on Patrick Mahomes higher than a half total yard. That's free money, man. So if you want to go sign up, use code LeagueFFB. Code's on the screen for you. The link is in the description. Go sign up. Do that over on Underdog Fantasy. Win yourself some money this Super Bowl Sunday, and let's get after it, man. But, War, let's talk some dynasty trades, man. The first one that I have here on the screen is going to be, and I do want to make sure, I am going to preface this, there are trades in here today that are not cropped. Please, let's make sure as we're submitting these trades in the Discord that we are cropping these trades so they look better on the screen. It just is a little bit bigger all along. So crop them, man. Take the extra 2 seconds. If you're going to post it in the Discord, take 2 seconds to crop it. But we have a lot of trades from 7 Goat Rings. And if you guys are not familiar with 7 Goat Rings, if you've watched any dynasty trade shows across the internet over the last year or 2 years, 7 Goat Rings is everywhere. This man is the trader of all traders in the dynasty community. So he's in our Discord. He's dropping some trades in here. But the first one that he has is this trade here, War, where he has Deshaun Watson for Bryce Young. He's getting the Bryce Young side.
I like it. 7 Gold Rings. I like it. To me, I look at Deshaun Watson as an appreciating asset. And I think with Bryce Young, he really ain't nowhere to go but up. So, you might as well, I would do that trade. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think you just pick the one that you want. I think Bryce Young probably has a little bit more. You probably feel a little bit better about the upside of Bryce Young just because he's younger and we've seen less out of Bryce. So I guess you can still paint a higher ceiling. I think we know what Deshaun Watson is at this point. So I don't hate that trade at all. I think it's a fair deal. I don't think anybody wins that deal today. I think it's a fair one, and we'll see how it develops over the future. But the second one here that he has, it was the back-to-back. He showed that it was pending and then trade complete. But he is going to get the 104, and he moves the 109 and Jaylen Waddle. It's a hefty price.
It's a lot of duality between what he's doing and what I'm doing today. I don't like it. simply because I'm not trading Waddle for anything less than 1.3, and I'm definitely not giving up an extra first with Waddle to get there. Like, it comes down to, okay, you're basically asking, and this is with me thinking that Neighbors, this is my draft board, it's basically you asking if you think Waddle or Neighbors is better. Me, Neighbors will be my third best player in this upcoming rookie draft. But, I mean, some people might have Jaden Daniels or Drake May or somebody there or something like that. But that's how I think. But as far as like 1.4, I just don't think, especially giving up that 1.9, that's the real killer. Like, because maybe you need a quarterback. I don't know. What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, I'm getting my mouse is getting all laggy, so it's weirding me out right now. I'm getting this audio switch, all this crap right now. But I think
pulling a war.
I'm pulling a war right now, man. Let me turn this off and turn it back on. But I do think when it comes down to the trade, I understand the move up, you go get one of those guys. And especially if you're a team that's maybe a quarterback needy team, you say, hey, I want to go get one of those guys like Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Marvin Harrison, Caleb Williams. Like, that's who you're shooting for probably right there. And if you need that, I guess that's the price you pay. But I just feel like you probably overpaid today. And you're going to have to really hit on that 104 in order to recoup that value. So when it's all said and done, I think that's just it is what it is. But we got Avatar in here. He says, I feel like there's still a lot of good players available at the 109. I just stand pat with Waddle in the pick. This is just rookie fever unless he needs a quarterback. So, I mean, I kind of agree, right? You go up and you get that quarterback, or you just stand pat. So that's 2 trades right there from 7 goat rings. But let's see where we're at here. God damn, my mouse is still tripping, bro. Hold on. There we go. Much better. So now 7 goat rings. He comes in with the next one. He says this is a 12-team super flex full PPR non-tight end premium. His other tight ends are Andrews and Pitts. So he ends up trading away Sam LaPorta.
Ooh.
And he gets the 107 and Rhamondre Stevenson. So he says it's non-tight end premium. He has Andrews and Pitts. So,
I mean, I get it, man. I would have much rather. I'm sorry, I would have rather moved. Honestly, I would rather move Pitts or Andrews than LaPorta. Like, just being completely honest.
Yeah,
running back Stevenson doesn't even like register to me. I'm looking at just the 117. Running backs or whatever to me, but man, I would have really liked him to move Andrews or Pitts or Pitts. He hasn't lived up to expectations. Andrews, like, are the Ravens going to start seeding more, reps to Isaiah Likely? I mean,
I think for me, it's, you look at this deal and let's put names to these picks, right? Like, we think those top 4 is probably going to be a combination of Caleb, Marvin, Jaden,
1-7's Brock Bowers for me.
That's what I'm saying. You're looking at probably Rome Odunze or Brock Bowers. So you're trading Sam LaPorta, a solidified tight end that we just saw break out, for a guy in Brock Bowers who's a tight end who we probably think is going to be as good as Sam LaPorta. It just feels like you're making a lateral move and you're taking on risk.
Yeah.
And I never want to take a lateral move and take on risk. So Avatar says it's weird. A lot of LaPorta's value was in touchdowns, which isn't necessarily sticky. I don't buy running backs in February. Stevenson's declining. 107 has a hit super hard. Odunze would be the best case here. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, you're taking that gamble at the 107. He says he already has the tight end. So getting Brock Bowers feels like it was a very lateral move, but you just hope you can get Odunze there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let's move on to the next one. God damn it, dude. Why is my mouse tripping like this? 1 second. You gotta give it the old-fashioned hit, Hey, look, it worked. It worked, man. let's keep let's keep it. God damn it, man. We get pushed back on time. Now my freaking mouse is not moving. We're about to lose all our sponsors on this show. No, I'm just kidding. But we have Matt in here. He says these trades were made back to back. Lamar trade was made first. Here's the first deal. First deal here is Dak Prescott in the 106 for Lamar. He gets Lamar Jackson. So how do you feel about that one?
Dak, I think that's fair. I think it's fair. I mean, I can't find too much. Yeah, I like it. I'm not gonna lie. He's getting Lamar Jackson's. Nothing's wrong with that. I think the other guy kind of got a fair shake too. Like you always say, if that's the response to the trade, that means it's probably a fair trade. I don't know where you at.
I'm fine with it. Honestly, I feel like for me personally, I know a lot of people probably are not as high on Dak, but it just feels like I'd rather just sit with Dak Prescott in the 106 for now. I don't feel like I need to go get Lamar Jackson, but I understand it. If you want to get younger, you need to get younger, do something like that. But I just think probably after the combine or about that time is when you're going to be able to get more value out of guys like the one or out of picks like the 106 and out of Dak Prescott. So maybe you could get a little bit more at that point. I don't know. It's not a bad trade. It's just it feels kind of lateral as well. And I do believe that, and I don't even remember if he says it's 12 team. So in 12 team, your depth is going to matter a little bit more than in a 10 team. So I think that 106, you're probably drafting a guy who could be a starter at the 106. So it feels like you're moving two starters for one. We know how good Dak Prescott was this year. There's been no changes to the coaching. There's been no changes to the offense. Like it's still going to be CeeDee Lamb. It's still going to be those guys. And in fact, Jerry Jones has said that they're going to go even more aggressive next year. I think he's just turning into a fan that wants to see a Super Bowl. And so he's going to start opening that wallet and just see what happens. I don't know. I think it's just, you're getting 2 for 1 and I'll probably take the 2 for 1 in a 12-man just so I can get the depth. But he says there was a 2-part trade. So he did end up getting the Mark Andrews stack with Lamar. So he moves the 110 and the 302. He gets Mark Andrews and Aaron Rodgers. I don't mind that deal at all. And I think he said tight end premium. So yes, it is a tight end premium. He gets Mark Andrews.
You're basically
Aaron
getting
Rodgers
Rodgers for a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, I mean, that feels like a steal right now.
Yeah, it does.
So I think the way that I'd look at it is Dak, 2 firsts for Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson, and Aaron Rodgers. I think it's a good deal.
Yeah, I'm with it.
So, alrighty, let's keep it moving. Back with 7 GOAT rings. He says 10 team, start 11. There's 4 IDP slots in here as well. So that's interesting. It is a 1.75 tight end premium. He is going to be getting Rashee Rice, Trey McBride in the 108. He gives up Breece Hall, Jake Ferguson in the 305. And I like this side for GOAT rings. I like this one for him.
Yeah, I do too, man. Like I think it's already well documented our overall opinion of the running back position. So I mean, really, I just look at this as Breece Hall for Rice, 1A to McBride. That's a kill right there. I mean, Ferguson's there too, but he, I like McBride a little bit better.
I think for me, man, like Breece Hall, he's an S-tier running back, but we know the shelf life of running backs. We know what running backs can happen. We know this time next year, Breece Hall could have an ACL injury again, and we could be like, we don't even like Breece Hall
already.
Yeah, like there's a whole lot of things that could happen to Breece. I think anytime you can move an elite running back for an elite player in a different position, which a lot of people are going to say Trey McBride is an elite player in a different position. So I think if you can do that, he's getting a 1st-round pick and Rashee Rice on top of that, who Rashee Rice has put together a good year, back half of the year. It's been really good for Rashee Rice. So I like Jake Ferguson, but I just think there's more value on that GOAT ring side. And I'll take that one over there. And I see B-Ball in here. He says, 1st-time watcher. You guys are a good listen. So we appreciate you being here, B-Ball. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can catch more of our content in the future. Anything else here, Ward, that you want to talk about, or is this one pretty much just, hey, we like to go ringside?
Me and you are in lockstep on this one. I like 7 goat ring side of it.
Cool. All right. Well, let's move on to. Look, I told you we had a lot of goat ring stuff in here. So we had 10-team full PPR. He says he's looking to retool and get a little bit younger. So the first deal is he's going to get Puka Nacua in the 110 for CMC.
Smart man.
Look, man, I said on a recent video, my video yesterday actually was a Dynasty Sells video, and I put Christian McCaffrey in that video, and I knew the community was going to be livid because we're talking about Christian McCaffrey and we're talking about selling Christian McCaffrey, but we know that age cliff, man. It's inevitable. It always comes when we least expect it, and we saw that happen to Austin Eckler last year where we all were drafting Austin Eckler in these Dynasty startups because he had put together, what was it, 2 or 3 top 2 finishes at the wide or at the running back position in a row. And we're like, Austin Eckler's untouchable because he does a lot of his work in the receiving game, man. He's going to age really well and blah, blah, blah. Nope. Didn't happen. The running back position is filthy when it gets down to it. And I think this is the ultimate sell high window on Christian McCaffrey. And to come out with an asset that, where are you at with Puka Nacua, Ward? Do you think this is a guy who we should be valuing as a Dynasty wide receiver 1? Is he a top 12 guy right now?
We have to.
we have to, right?
No choice. I mean, yeah, you have to bake in the possibility of like a sophomore slump or something, but like right now, we should be full steam ahead with Puka Nacua until he proves that we shouldn't be full steam ahead with him. I doubted him most of the season. At this point, I'm just going to accept his greatness for what it is. You don't put together that kind of season and just disappear off the face of the planet. So
best of all time. Better than JJ.
Yes, I'm out to lean Puka on this one, man.
Look, man, you get that asset, and then you're throwing me a first-round pick on top. I'm good. Thank you. I'm going to take that and run to the bank. Like,
Drew, let me ask you something. Bonus question. How many guys are you moving? What top tier S tier guys are you moving for that package of Puka Nacua in the first round pick?
It's a good question. I mean, I think the first round being the last pick, because he said it's a 10-team league. It's the last pick in the first round. I think that, is put into consideration. But we talked about it earlier. The 109, you're still getting good players. There's people like Xavier Worthy, Troy Franklin, Brian Thomas Jr., like guys like that you could still probably get a shot at. Then I get Puka Nacua on top. I think I'd do that deal for Jonathan Taylor. Are you talking just at the running back position or at all positions?
It's like just the couple of handful of guys that are S tier.
S tier for me, I think I'd make that like Mark Andrews is an S tier for me at the tight end position. I'm making that move. I think if I can make that move with a TJ Hawkinson, I'm probably doing that as well. When I go to my running back position, I do it for Breece Hall. I do it for Christian McCaffrey. I do it for Jonathan Taylor. At my wide receiver position, I'm not doing that for any of them. It's JJ, Jamar Chase, and CeeDee Lamb. That's my S tier right now. I'm taking those guys over the Puka Nacua package. But I think that's where I'm at. And then I'm not trading any of my S tier quarterbacks in a super flex league for that package either. But that gives you kind of an idea of where I'm at. Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Breece Hall, like those are the names that I'm looking at when I'm like, I'd consider those guys being moved for this package.
Yeah, so that says a lot about Puka Nacua. So good job, 7 goat rings.
Yeah, and we got a couple comments here. He says, my only reservation about Nacua is you're pretty much buying him at his ceiling. Him appreciating further is probably not. I agree, but I think him sticking here around this range is fine. I mean, you are buying at the ceiling, but I don't think that means you can't buy, especially when you're trading the aging asset. And he said, I still say that as an offer that you smash every time, though. I was just musing about Puka. So he is making this move. And then Timothy says, my only concern is I think Kupp was injured for most of the year, may be healthy next season. And yeah, he may be healthy next season, but what? Kupp is going to be 31.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's some mileage on those tires as well.
And then on top of that, the Rams might be like, look, we're going with this guy now. So
it could be. And obviously, if Matthew Stafford is not the quarterback, that may change the way we feel in the future. But for right now, I think we're projecting too far out that there's probably a chance that Christian McCaffrey isn't even relevant 2-3 years down the line anyways when we're talking about all this stuff mattering. So let's see where we're at, man. We're moving on. This is the second of those trades where he said he wanted to get younger. He ends up receiving the 106 and the 206. He gives up DJ Moore and Najee Harris. So how do you feel about that one? I actually feel like the value is probably on the DJ Moore, Najee Harris side. I think you get more value on that side of the deal. But if he is just trying to liquidate and get younger, I understand wanting to move to the other side. But I think that's kind of a low selling point on Najee Harris. I think you're undervaluing Najee Harris in that deal a little bit.
And probably DJ Moore too. Like it's tough because I'm in the same situation. So I've been trying to sell DJ Moore for a first, but like a top 4. Like so. I mean, even that's still like I feel like DJ is a very polarizing player. He's polarizing because we're like, what's going to be the quarterback situation next year? Or is he going to have another high-end wide receiver on a team with him? Like, there's a lot of stuff just up in the air about DJ right now. But he did put on an amazing season last season. So, he's not that old.
I agree. I mean, like, if we look at it in terms of startup value, just looking at it across the board, right? DJ Moore, he's currently going in Dynasty startups, and I use all my startup ADP. Found it from South Harmon Fantasy Football. So if you guys want to check those guys out, Adam, he's dope as hell. Has been helping us over with the BDG Dynasty content. We made that announcement the other day. So you guys will see more of Adam if you're checking out the BDG Dynasty content that I'm helping with as well. So guys, go check that out. But that's what we're using. We're using his website to get the ADPs, and it's all updated 24/7, 365, pretty much 30 minutes every 30 minutes of the day. Like, so it is accurate as hell. I screenshot it right before this stream. But DJ Moore, he's currently being drafted about where is he at on this list? The 407. He's coming off the board as wide receiver 13 in startup. So he's coming off the board as the 407. That 106 is coming off the board of the 410. So that's a pretty fair valuation as far as startup values. That 106 for DJ Moore, that's fair. Now, Najee Harris, he's coming off of the board as your, where is he? I can't imagine he's on the second list. Hold on, let me pull up. Are we getting deeper in the rounds? Am I the one higher on Najee Harris than everybody else somehow?
It might be.
Where is Najee? Dude, he can't be this low. I'm looking in like the 20th round right now. Where the hell is Najee Harris? 9th round, Najee Harris, running back 20. And that 206 is not coming off of the board until like the 13th, 14th round. So that is where you sold, I think, a little bit lower on that deal. But I get it. You're moving a running back and you're trying to get younger, and moving a running back when you're trying to get younger is probably the right move at all times. But I think you probably could have got a little bit more value. Probably could have got that in a 10-team league. You probably could have got like 201, 202 for Najee Harris. I think that's probably where you're at. But yeah, I think that's fine. But overall, I don't hate the deal for anybody. If you want to get younger, go ahead and do it. But I prefer the DJ Moore and the Najee Harris side, especially because I don't think that those guys are old for your teams either. Go Rings in the chat too, man. He says, "What's good, y'all? Appreciate the love and support, and we appreciate you, Goat."
Oh yeah, we appreciate you.
So yeah, let's see. Avatar says Moore still has 2-3 years of top 15 wide receiver production. I feel like everybody hates to own him, but he's locked and loaded points.
Yeah.
And then Najee could see an uptick in value because of Arthur Smith, though. Don't be surprised if they go run heavy, and I agree with that 100%. I actually think Najee is kind of a buy low right now because you could probably go. Hell, if I can go get Najee for the 16th pick in my draft or the 18th pick in my draft, are you taking Najee Harris or are you taking like Blake Corum right now?
Probably Najee.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. It's a good debate.
It's the Jaylen Warren though factor though too, man.
I get it. But I think we saw a little bit this year. Obviously, the offense wasn't as good because they were throwing the Mason Rudolphs and the Mitch Trubisky's and everybody into the mix. But I think we saw that both of them can be relevant. It's just not they're capping each other's upside.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on, man. We got a 12-team, 2-quarterback, full PPR. Drewski is going to be getting Tua Tagovailoa, Rashod Bateman in the 304. Goat Rings is getting George Pickens, Josh Downs, a 25 first, and the 203. So how do you feel about this? He is moving a quarterback, and he's not getting one back in return. That's kind of rare to see, especially in a 2-quarterback league.
I kind of like 7 Goat Ring side, man.
Do you?
I kind of like his side, man, because I'm going to make the assumption that trade only gets made if he's good at quarterback.
Well, I think there is a little bit more context that I skipped over. It says he has L. Jax, so Lamar Jackson, Anthony Richardson, and Bryce Young. And he has the 101, the 102, and the 104. So I guess he is heavy at the QB position.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely doing that. Hey, you get a 25 first, so you're back in the first round again in the 25. You get a high-end second-round pick and 2 young wide receivers. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's basically Tua for all of these assets.
Really? So you're just throwing Bateman out the window right now?
Yeah, I'm throwing him out with the bathwater.
Shit. I don't know if I could quit Bateman right now, especially because what did John Harbaugh say? So full disclosure, everybody, I loved Rashod Bateman coming into the class. Obviously the way it's played out has not been ideal. But what did John Harbaugh say the other day? He said something about like next year we're going to be giving Rashod Bateman a lot of touches. Like he's earned a lot of touches and some. I'm like, don't do this to me now, John.
Coaches be capping, man. Coaches be capping.
Don't do this to me now, John, because I'll go buy Rashod Bateman for a 3rd-round pick in every goddamn league.
That's not a bad buy, though.
No, I think it's a fine buy. But I think what you're getting down to, obviously, Rashod Bateman is not the centerpiece of this goddamn trade. It is Tua for Josh Downs, George Pickens, a first. I think that's a good deal, man. And I think there's a chance. Are we certain that Tua is the quarterback of the future for the Dolphins?
I think next season, yeah, but I think
isn't he due for an extension right now?
He might be a little endangered in 25.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see because I think he's due for an extension. Like I think they can extend him this offseason. And so they might be able to throw him a little bit of money. That money's going to talk. We're going to know a lot about how the Dolphins feel about Tua once we see that contract come in, because if they give him one of those, like, yeah, man, let's give you a 2-year, $80 million extension just to see what happens.
I got something crazy for you.
Or are they going to go and give him that like 4 or 5 year, $200 million extension?
I got something crazy for you. A little crazy what if.
Okay.
A little crazy what if. What if the Dolphins go out and somehow like try to go get like a Justin Fields or somebody like that? Mike McDaniel loves having speed on the field, man. And we know that he, was like, oh, Justin Fields, like the time they played them. So, I mean, but he's due for a contract too, but Fields isn't due for another 2 seasons. So, yeah, that's interesting.
It'll be interesting to see what happens, man. Or are they a team that ends up getting really aggressive and like maybe they end up, this is getting way into the hen house, but I think like, what if they were like, okay, New England, we'll give you Tua and something to move up to that 3rd pick. Like we'll just go get Jaden Daniels.
Like, man, you know what? If Belichick was still there, I think
he'd take that Alabama kid.
A lot more sense. Yeah, definitely.
But that's where we're at. So we'll see. I think I agree with you though. It makes sense for Goat Rings, but I think it's a fair deal for both sides. Like I don't hate Drewski's side of the deal.
I don't hate it. I just really like the other side.
So we got Dewbridge. I'm hearing the trades being loaded in as we speak. So there are trades getting thrown in here. So appreciate you guys being here. In fact, Xavier, let me get you that OG members club. But we do got this deal right here from, where was I at? Right here, Dewbridge. 10-team, super flex, tight end premium, 1.5 PPR. His QBs are Herbert and Burrow. So he's trying to take advantage of the love hype and tear down. So he gets Deshaun Watson and Garrett Wilson. He gives up Jordan Love and Diontae Johnson. How you feel about that?
First of all, did that happen in my league?
Do you know this guy, DH 1230?
Yeah. I have both of
Probably
them
happened.
in the league with me. That probably happened. I'm just a horrible commissioner in that league.
Hey, no problem, man.
Oh man, Jordan Love. I'm gonna be biased as possible, not unbiased as possible.
I'm gonna be as biased as possible.
that wasn't a Freudian slip, I promise. That wasn't a Freudian slip, I promise. Oh man, this is a tough. I'm gonna take the Jordan Love side because I don't know. Because I like Wilson, man.
Let me give you my 2 cents and let me see if it helps you.
First,
let me see if it helps you with what you're thinking, because I think I would prefer in a blank canvas. I don't know what the other rosters are. I don't know what Dubridge's roster is. I just prefer the Jordan Love, Diontae Johnson side of the deal. But knowing Dubridge's situation where he has Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow and it is 10-man, I don't mind the tear down to Deshaun Watson and get me a upgrade at that wide receiver position in Garrett Wilson. So I think it's a fair deal. I don't think anybody wins the deal, but I think on a blank canvas, I want the Jordan Love side, but I understand I think it's a good move for what Dubridge has on his current roster.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that's why
with it too much.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why context matters when we do these trade shows, right? Because you and I, we would feel differently if we didn't know that Dubridge had Herbert and Burrow on his team already. So I think that's why the context matters. But overall, that's how I feel about that one. Let's keep it moving over here, though. We have Dubridge. He says both teams are competitive. The trade went through probably because I value Tank far lower than the others do. I love Kincaid and even Drake somewhat, but in a 10-man league, you need the hammers. This is a 10-man super flex start 10. Mark Andrews, AJ Brown, and Chase Brown. We can just throw Chase Brown probably out the equation. For Kincaid, Drake London, and Tank Dell. So which side are you taking here? I know the side that I'm taking.
I'm taking Dubridge's side.
Oh, you want AJ Brown and Mark Andrews?
Yeah, because I don't think AJ Brown is as bad as what we've seen this year.
No, but I want the Kincaid, Dell, and London side.
Okay, let me okay, so here
let's enter the debate room.
Okay, because here's the thing. I feel like me and you have spoke about Tank Dell before.
Yeah, I'm definitely not as high on him as everybody else.
As high on him.
I know there's some people that have Tank Dell as like a top 12 dynasty wide receiver right now. I don't have him there right now.
Yeah, I have him as he's like a Will Fuller to me. Like one of those like explosive week, and then he'll take a step back and then another explosive week. Dalton Kincaid, I love Dalton Kincaid. He was my pick for our show.
Yeah.
It's just, I think AJ Brown's the difference maker in this trade to me. I feel like AJ Brown versus Drake London and Tank Dell, to me, it still leans heavily in the AJ Brown direction. And Mark Andrews and Dalton Kincaid, even though Kincaid will eventually be, higher than Andrews, right now, Andrews is higher. So, I mean, I don't know. What's your logic on it?
I mean, I hear Dubridge's argument of like he wants the hammers, he wants the big name guys that can put up a lot of points right now, and he's willing to sacrifice a little bit of depth to go get those guys. But I think obviously it's projection, and it's hoping that Drake London reaches his potential. It's hoping that Tank Dell can still be there, and obviously Kincaid can reach his potential. But I just think long term, 2, 3, 4 years from now, assuming your league stays healthy that long, you're going to prefer the other side of that deal pretty heavily.
Yeah.
And I think the AJ Brown situation is pretty up in the air right now. They asked him, I can't remember whose podcast it was. I wish I could give them credit, but he was on a podcast recently and they asked him, they said, so, are you excited, or do you think you'll be catching footballs in Philadelphia next year from Jalen Hurts? And he said, I'm excited to be playing football next year. So I don't know what that means. I think he's hinting that maybe it's not all fine and dandy in Philly, and I think we kind of
Trade
saw
him for
that at the back.
Diggs.
Dude, that would be nice. That would be awesome if they could get
since they
AJ
both
Brown
seem
and
to
Buffalo.
be being passive aggressive about what they want to do.
All in all, it's a good deal, and I do think that you get the sure thing in the superstars right now with AJ Brown and Mark Andrews, but I do believe that Kincaid can be one of those superstars. I do believe that London with the right quarterback can be one of those guys. And even though I'm not as high as everybody else in the community on Tank Dell, I don't think I'm as low as you. And I think you're lower than I am on Tank Dell. And I think that's where we are disconnecting on the value of this deal.
Hold on now. Hold on. Will Fuller was pretty damn good. All right.
What would you have traded for Will Fuller at the peak of his career?
Like you're talking about Deshaun Watson, Will Fuller in Houston peak?
Yeah. I know you weren't giving a first for Will Fuller.
I would have gave a late first for Will Fuller.
Stop the cap.
I would have gave a late look, man.
Man, I've been playing with you. I've been playing with you too damn long. Stop the cap, man.
Will Fuller had some game. He put up 50 like multiple times, bro.
I know he's in our league history as like one of the highest scoring performances of all time.
Yeah, I know, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Will Fuller, Tank Dell, man. Tank Dell should be happy if he get a Will Fuller comp.
All right. I think it's just the Houston Texans jersey that's reminding you of this shit, and the hair a little bit.
Also, I'm pulling a Mel Kiper player comparison. So they wear the same jersey, so they're the same player.
Yeah. Avatar says contest makes such a difference with these 7-GOAT or context, I think is what he's saying, because 7-GOAT says with that LaPorta trade, I have a feeling that the league that Jaden Daniels will be there. So he's moving down. He thinks he can get Jaden Daniels. He also says with that Waddle for the 104, I also own the 101, the 102 in that league, and it's 2 QB. And Waddle was my wide receiver 6 or 7 on the team. So
okay,
yeah.
See, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
and that's what Waddle all the way down there then.
Yep, and that's why Avatar is saying context makes a huge difference with these trades. Don't happen in a vacuum. Mm-hmm. And I agree. And maybe that's on me. Maybe you had the context in the Discord. Maybe I didn't read it entirely, all the way, but the more context, the better in the Discord. But let's keep it moving, man. We got some more trades. We're at about 45 minutes. We got this one. Keep it nice and clean. Actually, let's read all the context. 10-team, full, PPR, Superflex, start 11. He has Chase, Puka, Waddle, Rice, the 101, who he is saying is Marvin Harrison Jr., Marquise, Diontae, AJ Brown, Debo, Godwin, Sutton. Goddamn. My QBs are Allen, Kirk, Danny Dimes. Wanted the Hurts and AJ Brown stack, and Hurts I think is an extreme buy. So he gets Jalen Hurts for Dak Prescott and T. Higgins. I like it. I like buying Jalen Hurts right now at this price, man, especially
7-GOAT. Why you doing these dudes like that, man?
I told you, man.
Like that, man.
If you've seen any trade in the community over the last year and a half, it's 7-GOAT rings, and he's out here taking people's
money. This is a no-brainer to me. If you could get Jalen Hurts for Dak Prescott and whatever T. Higgins is, like that's an absolute deal. I'm gonna try to pull that deal off somewhere.
I already tried. I saw it in the Discord. I saw it in the Discord when he posted it a couple days ago, and I went and tried it in my own league, and it didn't happen. So, but we got Matt in here. Shout out Matt, also over in the BDGE Discord. So appreciate you there. 12-team, 1 quarterback. He says it was a startup. I only had younger backs like Chase Brown, Kendre, and Spears. I have Stroud and now Rodgers. Wide receivers are DJ Moore, AJ Brown, Ayuk, Jaden Reed. I wanted the starters so I could have the starting lineup. And looking at a lot of the 1 QB mocks, 112 is going to be like Keon Coleman or something. I want to contend now and also have the 107, so I still have draft capital. So he gets, it looks like they're both pending. I assume they both went through. But it looks like he's getting Joe Mixon and Aaron Rodgers for the 112. I think that's a fair price, especially if you're wanting to contend. I get it. And then also he gets Alvin Kamara in the 204 for Tajay Spears in the 301. And that is one I don't know I like. What do you think there?
I'm going to be honest. Matt, I don't like either of them.
Oh, really?
No, I don't like, even in a win now scenario, I'm not hitching my wagon to Aaron Rodgers or Joe Mixon. I'm not hitching my wagon to Aaron Rodgers or Joe Mixon. And I think we have some of the same feelings about the Kamara side of it. I literally just traded in one of the leagues the entire Saints backfield for Tajay Spears. So
did you? You ended up doing it because we talked about it last time.
Yeah, I did it. And yeah, man, like you could be looking at a workhorse back in Tajay Spears and Kamara. I don't think what he's doing is sustainable. Yeah, man, the first trade is way more justifiable than the second trade. The first trade is fine. I don't like it, but it's fine. But the second trade, man, I feel like Tajay Spears could have really did some good things for you there, man. But you get 2.4, so that's a 12-team league, so I don't know.
I think for me, man, like the first one I definitely don't mind. Like I'm not gonna go home and whine about that one because when you look at what he's got, I mean, he says that he was starting Chase Brown, Kendre, and Spears. I get it. You want to go get Joe Mixon, you want to compete. You have Stroud, and you now have Aaron Rodgers. It's a 1 QB. Aaron Rodgers is your backup. Kind of secures you something there behind him for at least a year or two. It makes sense. And the 112, it is the 112, man. It's just a freaking dart throw at this point. Especially he put the name Keon Coleman, and maybe that's what made me want to throw up in my mouth because I hate Keon Coleman as a prospect right now. But you know what? I don't mind that first one. But that second one, that's the one that I wish you could get back because I think that Alvin Kamara is a sell right now in the community. That's not a guy that I'm going out and buying at the moment. Unless I can get him for like exceptionally cheap. And I think exceptionally cheap for me would be like a 3rd round pick. If I can go get Kamara for a 3rd, I'm in. But any 2nd round pick or players worth more value than that, which I do think that Tajay Spears is. I think at this point, Tajay Spears, his value has crept up into the point where like I think people would buy Tajay for a late 1st. And so it feels to me like you're trading a late 1st and a 3rd for Kamara and a mid to early 2nd. Like it just doesn't feel like it's. I just prefer the Tajay side. Like I don't want to sit here and dabble with Kamara at this point in his career.
I mean, for your backfield, man.
Unless I know I'm a contender.
Yes, there's a world where Tajay Spears could have actually been the anchor of your backfield. And I just think this is just a really risky time to trade him away.
Yeah, I think
like if he could be just what you're looking for.
Agreed. Well, and he said he has Kendre Miller. So like the play that I would have went with is you make that first trade. So now your backfield is Joe Mixon, Tajay Spears, Kendre Miller. And then you're kind of, he has Chase Brown too, he said. So you get the insurance of Chase Brown behind Joe Mixon so you can play that game. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But then you get to play the game of now I can ride Tajay Spears as a bell cow running back for my roster. And if Alvin Kamara is a cap casualty, which the money is looking funny over there in NOLA right now, they're like 83 million under the cap space or over the cap space right now. Alvin Kamara has the highest cap hit of all running backs in the NFL this offseason. So like he could really be a cap casualty. And they spent a 2nd round pick or a 3rd round pick, I can't remember which one it was, on Kendre Miller last year. So you play that gamble game and say, hey, maybe they move on from Kamara and then I get the starting running back in NOLA anyways. I think what it all comes down to is you just don't necessarily need to be buying veteran running backs in February when we have a whole off season of free agents and rookies and all this other stuff that are going to muddy up backfields. But I also don't blame anybody for pushing the chips in and saying that they want to go and win. But these feel like moves that you make in November, December, when you're approaching those trade deadlines, and it's like, I got to go and win this one. Mm-hmm. Doesn't feel like a move you make right now.
Yeah, man.
So that's where I'm at. But yeah, that's just what I do differently. So we have a couple more in here, 3 more trades, and we'll get on out of here. Tommy Football in here. Let's get that crop in here next time, Tommy. I'm gonna try and zoom in on this. So let's see where we're at. He gets God damn, he gets the 102. He trades the 105 and the 108. Moving on up. Move me up. This is super flex though, right? Super flex. God damn. Yeah, we are in a super flex. Now look at my whole thing. It's all messed up because he has 101 and 102 now is what he's saying. So
you know I'm a fan of the move up. The slight move up. I don't have a problem with it, man. Like,
hey, let me ask the stream real quick, man. Look, all of you guys that are in the comments right now, I want to hear your opinions because I got on War's ass yesterday. It's on the topic of trade etiquette. I text War on Monday night. War, what do you want for Kendre Miller? Or is Kendre Miller available? You know, along the lines of, hey, I'm interested in Kendre Miller. Let me go get him. War leaves me on red. He doesn't respond to me. The next day, War trades Kendre Miller to a league mate of mine and never has responded to my text.
We're missing some context here.
Is this bad trade etiquette from War? Should he have responded to me and said, hey, I'm not interested in moving Kendre Miller for anything you got? Should he have responded to me and said, hey, I already got him in another deal? Or should he have left me on red? Because I was upset that he didn't tell me shit. And it pissed me off, man. I think I need some communication from your ass.
Look,
let me know in the comments, guys.
You sent the offer for him, and me always like, okay, he's going to trade it around the ballpark of what his offer was. And then I said, okay, I got this other offer, and I was like, he's not coming close to this offer. Let me just go ahead and take it. That was my logic.
Communicate with my ass, man. Let me know in the comments. Should he have texted me back? It's leaving me on red. Bad trade etiquette. But anyways, are you taking the 102 side? I'm taking the 102 side.
Yeah, I am.
All right. Yep. Well, we're going on to Xavier. We got 2 trades left. Xavier, I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told them boys. Hit that crop on me next time so I can see you.
Crop it up.
Oh, wait a minute. It's not. We don't got a completed trade here. So no completed trade. I need to see those completed trades. But he is asking us if he should accept, I think is what he's saying. So I guess let's review it. It is 12-team super flex. QBs are Allen, Kyler, Stroud. He got 3rd place last year, needs to fill out his flex and his wide receivers. So he is going to be getting Carr, Ayuk, Rashod White, a 1st and 25 and a 3rd. He gives up Stroud in 308. 12-team super flex. He has Allen, Stroud, and Kyler.
He has Allen. Okay.
Allen, Stroud, and Kyler.
So if he trades Stroud, he'll have Allen,
Kyler, Carr, Ayuk, White, a 25 first and a 3rd.
Man, any scenario where Stroud will get traded, I don't think I like it.
It makes you nervous?
Yeah.
Here's what I would do, Xavier. I would try and counter back, take out the 3rds. You don't need to give him a 3rd. You don't need to receive a 3rd back. And try and give him, and take out Derek Carr, and try and give him Kyler for Brandon Ayuk, Rashod White in the 25 first. If you can get that done, that's probably what I'm doing. But
say you'll trade one more time.
Give him Kyler Murray instead of CJ Stroud. Okay. So you trade away Kyler Murray, and you get back Brandon Ayuk, Rashod White, and the 25 first. He gets to keep Derek Carr. He gets to keep the 3rds. So you're just getting it a little bit smaller, but that's what I would counter with. I would want to keep CJ Stroud, Josh Allen.
At all costs.
Yeah, and you can find a backup or a 3rd string quarterback anywhere.
Those 2 guys together, that almost puts you one foot towards title contention right there.
Avatar says, I definitely would have pit one buyer against the other. War loses because he could have turned it into a bidding war. At the same time, I don't dabble in the bidding war shit.
Yeah, he don't. And then the other people in that particular league, they don't necessarily
But
they're low ballers.
I will say though, War, if you would have said, hey, this is what I'm being offered, can you beat it? I would have told you just yes or no. And at that point, we would have been good. Like, that's all I needed. I didn't need much more
Fair
from you.
enough. Fair enough.
Because if I'm going to tell you no if I think I can't beat it. Like,
yeah.
So we're not wasting time. I just want that quick little 2-second text of communication. That's all it is. But yeah, it does say, or it does say, I don't think I could give him Kyler. He doesn't like him, although I do like that idea. So maybe shop Kyler around if you want to move another quarterback. I do like the idea here where he wants to move off of one of the elite quarterbacks because he has 3 elite ones, right? Like one of them is going to be sitting on the bench. So I do like the idea of moving those and getting some more value elsewhere. I just think you move Kyler instead of Stroud, instead of Allen.
I traded. I can't remember what the hell I traded with him. I traded earlier season. I traded Kyler to get Joe Burrow. I forgot what I traded with Kyler to get Joe Burrow, but yeah, definitely shop him.
Yeah. And look, man, here's the thing. We don't play fantasy football games again. He says that people want the discounts, but we don't play fantasy football games again until September. Like, you don't have to sell Kyler today. You could wait a couple months, see what the Arizona
April. So
right. Like we could see what if the Arizona Cardinals draft Marvin Harrison Jr.? What if the Arizona Cardinals draft Malik Neighbors? I bet you a lot of people are going to start being like, oh shit, I should buy Kyler Murray. But they should have been buying Kyler Murray now. I just think, and Avatar just said that Kyler is a buy for sure. I can get with selling Stroud because I'm moving into the S tier of QBs is going to be very difficult with no rushing. So I get it, but I think you get more for CJ Stroud than this. This price is the price I would be expecting to get. A little bit less than this price is what I'd be expecting to get for Kyler Murray. So there's some ideas there, but this current offer, I'm pressing decline on this one, Xavier. And then we got one more. This is the last one. It does say 2 are accepted. So it is a 12-team start 11. Wide receivers are Jay Jettas, AJB, Devontae Smith, JSN, Reed, Downs, Diontae Johnson. He has Hurts and Kyler as his QBs, ready for that title. So again, I'm gonna hit you. Give me the crop. Give me the crop next time, man. But he gets AJ Brown for the 111, the 109. I'm in.
I love it.
Give me AJB.
Especially with the way his roster's constructed, yeah.
JJ and AJB, and you give up 2 late firsts. Hell yeah.
I feel like this draft, after number 7, I would definitely be seeing who will be interested in giving up some studs for anything after 7 in the first round.
There's a teardrop, I think. To me, I think that the first 5 is a tier, and then I think 6, 7 is a tier just below that, just a tiny bit. And then I think after that, it's another teardrop. So I agree. But anytime I can give you 2 late firsts on a contending team, because you assume, him having the 9 or the 11, he was one of the top 4 teams in his league this year. So I'm a contending team. I'm giving up a couple late firsts, and I'm getting an elite difference maker at the wide receiver position to add to a wide receiver room that already has Justin Jefferson and some other really good guys. And I have Kyler Murray and Jalen Hurts. Sign me up. You get the stack. Avatar says it. Total smash on the AJB side. See you in the playoffs, sir. That's one of those playoff winning moves.
It is.
So love that one for you. Just hit me with the crop next time in there, Xavier. But I appreciate you joining the Discord. But that is what we're at, War. That is what we're at. Let me fix this up. Look, man, if you guys are still here in the stream, I do want to tell you guys about our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. They are doing a Super Bowl special for new customers. So if you've never played over on Underdog Fantasy, if you sign up using code LeagueFFB or you click that link in the description, you're not going to miss it. There's some red sirens all over that link. Make sure you click that link, sign up using code LeagueFFB. They're giving you a Patrick Mahomes to throw or run for a total of a half yard. It's free money, man. And you can sign up, like I said, using code LeagueFFB. If you're in any of these states that have the yellow, you're eligible to play. So make yourself some money this upcoming Super Bowl weekend. It's free money over there with Pat Mahomes, man. And I'd appreciate you guys helping us out because that does help support the show. That does help support us. So go ahead and do that for us. Other than that, man, more shows coming up. Keep an eye out. I am going to do a little shameless plug. Check out BDGE. That's BDGE Dynasty Fantasy Football. I am going to be doing content with them part-time over there. Think of it as extra bonus content from your guy over here at the League FFB. This channel is going nowhere. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Make sure you're hitting that like button. And yeah, just share it with your friends, man. We got a couple more comments that started coming in really quickly. Caleb says 25 people in here. Let's go. Let's get it. Mystic says, I got you with the crops next time. My fault. First stream, but I enjoyed it. So I appreciate you. Esco says 106 for McBride in a second. Give me the 106, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Caleb says, I'm taking the 106. And then the real Deathly says, if you want to review one more, I shipped out Rashod White at the deadline for what turned out to be the 106 and the 2025 second. What do we think with hindsight? With hindsight,
I like it.
I don't think it's bad. I think you'd rather have the 106 right now than Rashod White, but I think Rashod White's a hell of a player. And I like Rashod White's outlook long-term. So that's where we're at, man. Make sure you do those things for us on the way out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it, do all that stuff. Hit us in the comments. War, shout out what you're doing because you're doing some content over there on your side too.
Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm a professional wrestling guy. So what? All right. Over at the Crimson Mass Show on YouTube. We over there doing our thing. We're going to be talking. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in professional wrestling right now. It's WrestleMania season. Vince McMahon scandal. We were talking about The Rock is back, and he's going to be wrestling the WrestleMania. So, I mean, very casual fan. Yeah, we want to get that nostalgia kick back in. Go ahead and check us out on the Crimson Mask Show over there and like, subscribe, of course, and come see us here over at the League FFB every damn time.
Yes, sir. Crimson Mask linked in the description. Go check that out. Avatar says RKO out of nowhere. And that's going to put the lights out on you guys today. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Appreciate each and every one of you. Stay safe this weekend. And we'll see you on more content. Peace out.
Peace out.